Logo. Here we go, baby. Hi, and welcome to another Woody's Tapestry. Here on Woody's Tapestry, we try to put a little something together and come up with some ideas. I like to say that we just drop a little knowledge, a little nuggets of wisdoms. So I want you guys to sit back and hold on tight and ride with me on this flight. Oh, that's my old DJ's days. Let me get away from that. But anyways, if you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the button, the bell, and don't forget to leave a description, okay? Now, I know y'all think by looking at this background that I done went cuckoo for Cocoa Puff because it got this smoke bellowing up in the back. But no, not really. Let me tell you a little secret. When I was a kid, I used to be afraid of smoke. I mean, actual afraid of smoke. I mean, if I would see smoke coming out of something and I didn't have no explanation about it because I didn't understand fire and smoke together, didn't get it. I mean, I saw it, but I didn't get it. Okay? So I would see smoke, man, I'm running. Now, that's my little secret. What's yours? What is it that you're not telling yourself? And what is it that you're not telling people that's around you? See, today we're going to be talking about, look on the right, see that right there? Watch, it's going to come up again. And I love the way I disappear into the picture. That's why I use this particular color. What's over the horizon? Okay? What's over my horizon is truth. At least that's what I'm seeking. Okay? Everybody's truth I know is different. So when one person says, well, I'm looking for the truth, you might want to ask them what truth they're looking for. See, it's a dangerous thing for a person to know just enough to think that they're right. And it's even more dangerous when that same person is too ignorant to understand that they don't know enough to recognize when they're wrong. Now, in the song, which I just happen to like, so I'm just going to share it. In the song, The Rainbow Connection, you remember the one with Kermit from, why are there so many songs about rainbows and what's on the other side? Remember that? Well, that part of the song where he said rainbows are visions, but only illusions. That's the part that always amazed me. Because I remember as a kid, I would run and when I see a rainbow, I would run and try to get to the end of the rainbow for what? To see that pot of gold that people talk about. And see, there's many things in life that may seem real, that's not. And then there's a lot of things that may not seem real that are. Just because you can or cannot see something doesn't mean that it's not real. And there's many things that you can't touch that's real. So the question comes up again. What's over your horizon? What do you see in your future? Maya Angelou said this one time. She said, when a person tells you who they are, you probably want to believe them. And I'm like her. I believe that. So what are you telling yourself? What are you saying to yourself in those moments when you're by yourself in the loneliness of the evening and you're just sitting there? What do you tell yourself? Do you remember what it sounds like and what's going through your head? Do you remember the voices that tell you to do things? You have to understand that you have an inner voice. And your inner voice is never wrong. I'm going to repeat this over and over again. See, if you remember the first time that you heard a recording of your voice and you go back and listen to it, it don't sound that good. It sounds like something else. Now, this is just my opinion, which a lot of this is. Everyone on this planet should know what their voice sounds like. Because if you know what your voice sounds like, you can separate truth from BS, and you can get other people's influence out of your head. You know, your inner voice, you should know what it sounds like so you won't be fooled. Okay? Now, what gets tricky is the fact that we all have these little gifts and big gifts, because I don't want to minimize anything that God does. And we have these talents, right? Some of us are multiple talent. And because of illusions that look like visions, we talk ourselves out of God's plan because we're listening to the wrong thing. You know, I had to throw some God in there, okay, because that's just what it is. But this same thing, as far as the illusion and listening and getting the wrong impression of what's going on, this same thing happened to me. Back in the 70s, 75, I wanted to be this disc jockey. I had a friend that had a brother that was a DJ. And man, I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. So finding out how to do it back in the 70s, got to have this equipment. So I started buying all this equipment and, stockpiling this stuff, getting ready for that DJ moment. So one day, when I was in the store buying something, this other guy overheard me talking about what my plans were and what my futures were, the horizon that I was looking at, what I was seeing. And he heard me talking about being this DJ. And he said, oh man, that's the worst thing you want to be. Being a DJ is, you don't know if people are listening to you, you don't know if people can hear you, you don't know, just on and on. The important thing is, I believed this fool, okay? And I listened to what they were telling me. And I stopped pursuing my dreams. See, rainbows are real, but they're just illusions. And it's easy to get all caught up in your own head, and especially if there's nothing there. If it's empty, when you go and it rattles, right? Now, don't get offended. Get wisdom. Because remember, we talked about, in order to have wisdom, you have to have knowledge, and you have to have understanding, and wisdom come after that. This is a Selah moment. Let's just hold up for a second. Just Selah. Now, for y'all that don't know what Selah means, it means to just take a pause and just contemplate, think things over for a moment. See, one of the reasons that we have problems today in our society is because of social media. Social media allows people to lie to you and allows you to lie to them. And when they do that, what are they telling you? See, I just don't get this whole thing, why people lie to begin with about who and what they are. I've known people, and I know you guys out there and girls have heard and seen the same people. They spend all this time trying to convince you that they're okay people and that they're good people. And everybody around them know that they stink, okay? And they spend all this time and effort trying to prove that they're good. Why don't they just use that time that they're trying to convince you about something that they'll never be and just become something real? Why don't you just change? Why don't you just take that same effort and change? See, they say a picture's worth 1,000 words. Well, how much is 15 seconds worth? And that sounds like I just jumped over there to the 15 seconds, but let me tell you something. Many times, people project what is a mental picture by telling you things. And if it's worth 1,000 words, it could be telling you 1,000 wrong things in your mind. But something that hit me a long time ago when I heard this analogy about goldfish. And it says, how much is a picture worth? It's worth 1,000 words. Within 15 seconds, how much you think that's going to be worth if something flashed in front of you? Okay, now think about this. This old guy told me, he said, Harris, we was in boot camp. He said, you messed up just like a football bat. He said, and you living just like a goldfish in a bowl. I said, what are you talking about? He said, man, you're having a goldfish moment. Get your stuff together and we'll be back and get to you. Guess what? We'll be back in 15 seconds. Now, are you one of these people that's having a goldfish moment? Let me explain to you what a goldfish moment is. This is how it was explained to me. A goldfish lives inside of this bowl. And the reason that it has the abilities to read, now this is just what I was told. I don't know what the truth is, but I was told that the reason that a goldfish can live in a bowl is because every 15 seconds it mind resets. So can you imagine if a goldfish mind can reset and they can put that goldfish in that little environment and that it can be comfortably sitting there? What would happen if a picture's worth 1,000 words and they flash it at you 15 seconds or 30 seconds, which is 2 15-second slots? I'm talking about commercials. Doing the commercial, during the Super Bowl, that 15 seconds is worth $40 to $50 million. So I'm just saying, it seems like every 15 seconds, your mind resets. So they give you a little bit of information. And they know it will stick because it's 15 seconds. Your mind reset. They're resetting us. Now that's just my theory. You ain't got to pick up on that or anything. But I will say this, your inner voice is there to awaken you, and it's never wrong. And I can hear people saying, yeah, but my Uncle Willie here, he hear voices all the time. I'm not talking about that, because see, Uncle Willie is special, okay? He's hearing voices from in his head. He's not hearing voices from in his heart. So I just want to tell you right now, we're going to have to do a part 2 to this armor. Until I see you again, ring my bell, subscribe, and don't forget, logo. Peace.